Good morning, guys. This is Jeremy Caldwell. Come on, somebody.
Oh, this is Scott. How you doing?
And today I'm bringing the one, the only.
Jess.
You got to talk closer, honey. Let people hear you.
Good.
So this is my wife, the other business owner here, Jessica Caldwell. So again, guys, this is the Insurance Buddies podcast. This is probably our sixth one, Scott?
I think it's the seventh. Yeah.
6, 7.
7. Ooh, 6, 7. Yes. All right.
So what we kind of want to do is we just want to go over some, typical, is that Josie Chicks? Oh, gosh, John.
Do you want me to go get her and ask?
So, again, to the podcast world, we are doing a Facebook Live as well. So people are going to ask questions as we're just kind of freestyling, as you will, our insurance topics today.
Right. And the thing, the originator, we used to do that Coffee with Caldwell regularly.
Yeah.
We used to do it in the old office and everything else. And
my favorite was the bloopers, though.
Yeah. Well, we've already
that was your favorite too, wasn't it?
We've
Jess?
already had bloopers today, so we might see that later
did.
on. But yeah.
So okay, Scott, let's talk about Caldwell Insurance.
Jeremy,
Jessica, when we first started Caldwell Insurance, was you scared?
Very. You can hear me.
Yeah,
Not a lot.
actually you can. So are you talking about when you all started the business yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, just to give you a little background, I was in the coal industry for 13 years. Jessica was a nurse for quite some time, and, it was time to make a shift, a change in our lives. And we knew that we wanted to get into the insurance world. This was my desire. I wanted to do it. Thank you, country. This is what we wanted to do. And go ahead. Oh, you're reading. So with that being said, even though this is what we want to do, it was scary. And we started off as a scratch insurance agency. And in case you don't know what that means is we had zero business. We had no monies.
No, it was
Right.
a great time having zero.
And I don't think you see that as much anymore, a scratch agency starting up. Normally it's through acquisition.
It is.
Usually it's people that want to get out of the business. They've been in the business for 40 years and they just want to retire, and they sell their book to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't see very many scratch people just getting into the business.
So, Jess, whenever we got that first paycheck of having no business, let's go back to that question. How scared was you then?
Well, I wouldn't even consider it a paycheck. So it wouldn't even pay, maybe it would pay our cell phone bill, that first commission check. Maybe.
Do you remember how much it was?
I think it was $242.
Ooh,
Yeah.
$242. Yeah.
So
It was a great time.
So
It was
with
fabulous.
with that being said, there was a lot of praying, a lot of Jess, we need to hit the ground running. We got to do this hard,
Yeah.
really quick, because we got to make some money. So
It was a lot of long hours, 7 days a week,
Yeah.
evenings, weekends, you name it. Middle of the night, Jeremy answering every single message, every single phone call.
So who was your first carrier? Did you have one main carrier that you started out with?
Erie Insurance.
Okay.
They have, honestly, we have a lot of carriers now, but Erie has had our back from the very beginning. And I can't thank them enough for the opportunity to bless us with this opportunity to be able to trust us as an insurance agent provider for them. And so I even remember our first client. It was my aunt, Amy Treadway. So what we did,
Is she still your client?
she is
Okay,
still my
that's
client.
good.
We still got our first client. So
we're-
again, so going back to that day, I just opened up so let's talk about day one, opening up, babe. July
17th, 2017?
Yep. Just unlocked the door. I didn't even have money to buy bottles of water. I bought a pitcher from IKEA. and filled
It
it
was
up
like
with
$4.
Yep, filled it up with ice and ice water, and had a coffee maker, and I made Maxwell House coffee right there, ready for everybody. I was like, no one's coming in probably today, but I'm gonna be ready. My aunt worked.
Just in case somebody comes in,
And my
he
aunt-
had his water in the pitcher and his coffee made every single morning, just in case somebody actually did come in.
And
nice.
my aunt walked through the door, and what's up, Caleb? We're doing a podcast today, but we're also wanting to encourage you all to ask any questions.
Hey, Caleb was our first commercial client.
He was.
Filmanatics
Filmanatics
was our
was-
very first commercial client that we
They
wrote.
are
I didn't know
phenomenal.
that.
Yes,
Did not
absolutely.
know that. That's
Yep.
a little bit of trivia that
Yeah.
we're getting today.
That's how I started learning commercial insurance. They were my very first.
Oh,
So we might need to review your policy. Not Blake.
Oh,
So going back to that date, my aunt walked in. She goes, "I want to be your first client. I'm here for insurance." I was like, "Rock on." So fast forward, a couple months into it, we were testing the waters, if you will, trying to see what would work. Facebook, whether it be going door to door. There's many times. Jess, let's talk about the times I would go door to door, walking. I kept my pair of shoes that I actually walked door to door with as a reminder of where we came from. It was, there was a time to where we couldn't afford to do some of the promotions that we do now, the things that we're doing now. And I went door to door knocking. Hey, listen, I'm a new insurance agent in town. I would love to have the opportunity to be able to, quote your insurance. And, I remember there was little baggies that Erie Insurance would provide us. And I put a little note in there about...
Back then, they were free. That's why we got them, because they were free.
They were free. And the only thing I had to buy was I bought Ziplocs to put a dog bone in. And I put the quickest way to our heart is through paw prints. And I hung it up on every single door in South Hills, which is where our first location was. And it worked quite well. And
I think that says a lot. So your very first day, you had a pitcher of water
I did.
just for the customers.
Yep.
You had no customers,
Had no
Right.
customers.
but
Had faith.
you had faith,
Yeah.
and you were sowing with faith and anticipation that you would have customers, but you were always from day one focused on the customer.
Always. That's what it's about.
So, and I think it's why, it's not wild, but that's why it's come, full circle. And this is coming back to, you don't want to toot your own horn, but it's because of the customers. For 5 straight years, we've been voted best in the Valley, but it's because of the original focus that you had to focus on customers.
Yep.
Customers first.
And I'm going to, again, I love putting her on the spot because I love making her feel uncomfortable on camera more than anything, but I'm actually going to brag on her here. My wife, she has had my back since day one. She had full faith in me that we could do this. And keep in mind, guys, we started off scratch again. No kind of policies, no nothing, no monies. And she said, "I got faith in you. Let's do it." So she was working from the beginning, doing all the service work, and I was doing everything I could to bring customers in. And so that was the start.
He would get so mad because since day one, he kept that Excel spreadsheet of customers in his notebook. And he'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I did this." And I'm like, "Okay, well, next month you're going to do this." And he was like, "I really don't like it whenever you put that kind of pressure on me." He's like, "There may be months where I don't do that." And I was like, "Oh no, you're going to do it."
Yeah.
I know it's possible.
Yeah, and at one point when it was just us two, we would sit in the back of the office during lunch, and tell them what we would watch, honey.
The phone didn't ring very much. I mean, when you are scratch and go from 0 customers, even once you get up to like 100 customers, they're brand new, so they don't need a ton of service at first. So we would go in the back and sit and eat ramen noodles, or actually, Cadence got really burnt with her ramen noodles.
Yep. So I won't forget that day.
And watch The Office.
We'd watch The Office at the office every single day because we were like, man, I hope that phone. As soon as that phone rings, we'd take right off and we'd go over, "Call insurance. How can I help you?" Because we wanted to show people that we truly did care. We never left the office. The only time we would leave the office is if I would go walk to go knock door to door.
I stayed.
And she
answered
stayed
the
there to
phones.
answer the phones.
And every day when we left, we would transfer the office phone. To
I
his
forgot
cell
about
phone.
that. Oh, dear God.
And if he forgot, we would go back to the office to transfer the office phone to the cell phone to make sure that we never missed a phone call.
Yep. And we still care about that with our clients. I still try to make myself available as much as possible.
We can no longer transfer the phone number.
No, but what we do is we make ourselves available through Facebook and text as much as possible because we'll have plenty of people that will
Yes.
call us and text us and message us
He
after
likes
hours.
to act like he doesn't, but he still works at 9 and 10 o'clock
And actually-
most evenings, and he does still try to respond to every single text and Facebook message. Sometimes they do get a little mixed in the shuffle sometimes, but he does still even
Right.
after
And
hours.
and just to let you know, he does have an office in his home, so he
does.
can.
And he still works a lot of Saturdays, even though he also likes to tell the producers he no longer quotes and tell people that. I have pictures to prove it. He still quotes on lots of weekends.
Right.
I still try to make myself available. Besides Sundays, I try to cut it out because I like to dedicate myself to my family and the church and those types of things on Sundays. Now, if it's an emergency, I'm still available. Like if somebody's in an accident, need help, we're still always there. We try to make ourselves available day, night, and weekend, 365 days a year, especially if somebody is in an accident or has maybe a house fire or something like that. We try to make ourselves available because we want to make ourselves available for all of our people as much as possible. Again, I think that's one of the reasons why we win Best in the Valley, because we try to set ourselves apart. We try to put ourselves to a different standard from everybody else. Thank you, Russell. I appreciate that.
Yep. So that's good. I like that, all that background.
So
and everything.
now fast forward to a few years. I talked to Scott, and I say, hey, well, actually, so my first producer I ever hired was Aaron Grayley.
He started in January, I think it was, and Scott started in June. So they started 6 months apart.
Yep. First people we brought on was my mom, and then a girl named Destiny. She had a baby, so she quit after she had a baby. Then we brought on,
Your Aunt Amy.
my
helped
aunt,
do reception
my aunt
for a
Amy.
little
She
bit.
came on, and then Olivia came on, which is still with just about everybody we've hired.
Josie.
Then Josie, and then this big goober over here, he came on with us, and it's not been the same since we brought our people on. At our agency, it truly is. I feel like here, and you could speak yourself here, Scott. I feel like it's one big family. Even though we've grown as much as we have over the last year,
Oh yeah.
I still try and make it as family oriented as possible, because when you come in, I don't want it to feel like it's a 9 to 5, 8 to 5 job. I want it to feel like, hey, we got a job to do, but we also want to have a good time because this is our other family.
Right. It's a good feel. It's a good feel when you come in and everything.
So when you came in, what did you come in from, Scott? Talk a little bit about what you came from.
What I came from.
Yeah.
Well, we
How'd we
can't
end up
talk
with
about
you?
me. I don't know. Well, it's because of our daughters. Our daughters were in travel cheer together, and I have a background in healthcare. I worked at a local hospital for 29 years up till then, and I just thought that it might be interesting, neat to maybe branch out to maybe do something else or to think about something else. And so, I saw this guy the first time I ever saw Jeremy. It was at the cheerleading gym where all our cheerleaders, our daughters, worked out and practiced and everything. And Jeremy comes in like, hey, and giving hugs like he was mayor. It's like he was mayor of the gym. Mayor of the gym. And
I thought you said Mater.
no.
That's about the same.
What you doing, buddy?
Wee doggy. So no, he didn't act quite like that. But he was upbeat. Everybody liked him. He was positive, and that's just me seeing him at the gym for the cheerleaders and everything. And so just one thing led to another, and I was just thinking, like, what about this insurance thing? I mean, how do you do it? What all about it? And so, started to talk to him, but it was probably a year, maybe 18 months before I even started, because the timing has to be right.
Yeah. There was a lot of conversations prior to.
There was a lot of insurance world shifting done when we first started talking, and we was like, listen, we wanted what's best for you and your family. Let's hold off for just a second, because I know how good you're going to
We
be.
started in 2021, so
Mhm.
we had COVID, we had the shutdown, we had lots of different moving parts.
Yep.
So
Yep.
then suddenly,
And here
timing
it
was
is.
great, and
And it all worked out.
It did.
Yeah.
it did. I
So
mean, he's still here.
I know. Well,
For now.
I can't leave. Um,
So again, Facebook world, we're doing our podcast for insurance buddies. Any questions that you all may have about insurance or any questions you may have about Caldwell Insurance Agency, please ask away. Please share this video so others can see this as well. So fast forward a little bit here. We bought an agency out of Boone County, out of Danville. His name was Steve Richards. I approached him, and about a year and a half later, he sold the agency to me, which was in the year
2021, August of 21.
August of 21 is when we bought him, which is Jessica's stomping grounds. We're still heavily involved with the community in Boone County. My mom's from Boone County. She's from the other side of the mountain. So we
Speaking of that, I mean, Scott plays Sherman this week.
Yeah.
They're from the Sherman side. I'm from the Scott side. Halloween rival this.
So y'all
Friday
make sure to watch
night.
him this Friday night, guys. So you know, and it was such a blessing to be able to have the opportunity to be able to be involved with Boone County again, because we have such deep roots in Boone County and we want to keep it there, and we do everything we can to support the community, especially in Boone County, because we have such deep ties with them and we love the community there so much. It's literally the hometown varsity blues feeling when you go to Boone County, and there's no better feeling than that whenever you get involved with the community such as there.
Right.
Yep.
Well, most of our family's still in Boone County, and fun fact: Scott's wife, his Jessica, is also from Boone County, so
Yep.
deep.
she's from Van.
Bob White.
So
Bob White.
now
Deep.
let
My aunt was the postmaster in Bob White.
Oh, really? Well, hooty hoo.
so let's fast forward a little bit more. So
Keep it rolling.
How fast we going?
all right. So
Jeremy driving,
back
it's hard to
in
tell.
was it 2023 when we got the email?
Dun,
2022, I believe.
2022 we got the email. It was from a
2022.
gentleman.
We're allowed to talk about this now.
Dun,
Yeah,
dun.
it was from a gentleman named Phil Garlow.
I feel like we're doing something wrong
I
talking
feel-
about this now.
Oh,
because for
because-
so long, it
No,
had to
I'm
be a
thinking it
secret.
it had to be before that.
It was either 21 or 22.
Might be-
Yeah,
well,
it was before
spring
me.
Of
It was before me.
you think?
I don't know. Well, anyways, so we got this email, and you know, just a long story short, we were invited into the office. We talked to him for a while, and we were granted the opportunity, blessed with the biggest opportunity you could ever imagine, to purchase this wonderful insurance agency. And he had 4 locations himself. And so, you know, after, you know, there was no hesitation on our end. We had a lot of discussions going on. And, you know, in July of,
Hypothetical discussions
Mhm.
because we didn't know details until
yeah.
we
So,
get closer to it, because that's kind of how insurance acquisitions go. So you don't know.
so, you know, going a little bit more forward, in July of 2024, we were announced the new owners of Garlow Insurance Agency. We went from where we had just me and Jess, to me, Jess and Mom, to me, Jess, Mom, and Destiny, to where we just kept growing to after the acquisitions and all, we have right at 64 employees now in 5 locations. We have locations in South Charleston, Danville, Point Pleasant, Hurricane, and did I mention Danville yet?
Marmette.
Marmette. Okay, I can't remember. But oh, look, hey, thumbs up, and it gives it back. So, anyways, with that being said, you know, we've grown exponentially over the last, you know, several years, especially over the last year and a half. But it has been a fun ride. We have enjoyed every single moment of it. You know, one of the best things that we love to do, at least in my opinion, I want your all's feedback on this as well, is I love being able to give back. And that's not bragging on our insurance agency. That's bragging on you all. Because without your all support, we wouldn't be able to do the things that we do. We don't believe in hoarding the money. We don't believe in, you know, just taking it in ourselves. We believe in giving back. And I truly do thrive on that because I believe in giving back is what helps the community grow. And Jess, give some feedback on that.
Not that he put you on the spot or anything like that. So.
I mean, what do you want feedback on? I'm very sorry.
What is your favorite? What is one of your favorite? Now, not everything that we do is,
ordering diabetic supplies for my mom. Sorry, I got the message that it's time to reorder. Sorry about that.
So, not that we don't talk about everything that we do, but what's one of your favorite things that we do that is announced?
That is already announced.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited for this dress closet, but obviously my favorite is the Santa drive-thru.
Scott, which one of your favorite things that we do? Chew and review.
Oh, that is good. That is good.
Y'all just like to eat.
We do.
I do too. Y'all don't ever include me in that. You just like to make me uncomfortable, make me come in here and talk, but don't feed me.
And it's poor thing. I don't know. It's just the feels of the whole situation. If you would come here and I don't see any reason why anyone would want to quit working here. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
You would have to have a really good opportunity, like be Penn State coach or LSU coach or something good.
The VU coach.
Yes, a good opportunity that's going to pull you away from here. But because just the atmosphere here is so good, and what Jeremy and Jessica are building, it's just not an insurance agency; it's a brand. Okay, and we have to look at that as what it is, just because of the way they give back, what they do in the community, and things of that nature. So it's just the feels that you get from being around here.
I appreciate that so much. We again, we want that family feeling when you come here. And it's not just for our employees, it's for our clients too. Because when you come in, we do all these weird games. Like someone like, hey, let's try this out. And it's like, dude, what were you thinking doing that? That did not work out. That was a terrible idea. Jessica, go ahead and tell it. The worst idea that Scott and I ever had, and you shot it down real quick.
She's mentioned this before, I think.
So sometimes they get a little excited. And if they have, a whole 30 free seconds, then they come up with these really random ideas. And they're not very well thought out.
We were trying
They
to
get excited, and they want to do
trying-
it right now.
We were trying to get more clients
and not spend a lot of money doing so.
I didn't have door hangers, so I went.
But you did get door hangers.
I did, but that was
because
after that.
of
That
this
was
idea.
after that.
After I stepped in and said, absolutely not.
So the idea I had was to, just print off, our contact information, Caldwell Insurance. We can save you on your money, on your insurance. We can save you money. We can, look at your coverages, get you excellent customer service. We can do all this, and I had it all on a piece of paper since I didn't have door hangers. But then
how were you going to deliver it?
I was wanting to go door to door. Okay, I was going to go door to door. There's a few apartments up in South Hills and other locations, Taze Valley, and we were going to go and take these papers to the apartments. The only problem was, how do you actually, when the rubber meets the road, how do you actually deliver it?
And you can't get in people's mailboxes, so what are we going to do? I said, ding, let's tape it on people's doors.
With painter's tape.
Because we didn't have any, I think we were actually out of Scotch tape that day.
We didn't have any duct tape. We didn't have any Scotch tape.
So we had painter's tape in there.
And
Jessica,
we were literally, I had 50.
They were so excited. They were like 2 kids on Christmas morning.
I had 50
they thought
copies.
This was the greatest
50
idea
copies. I had 50 copies. We were getting ready to walk out the door, and she goes, whoa. Wait a minute. Thank goodness.
Because that would have.
I mean, who doesn't want to trust their financial belongings and all their worldly goods to somebody who put a piece of paper on their door with painter's tape?
It might have.
It screams professionalism.
So it might have worked.
It might have.
It might have worked.
Well, thank God we didn't have to find out.
That's right. That's right.
So we talked about a little bit about Caldwell Insurance Agency. We talked about Best in Valley last 5 years.
Right.
And we got people watching again, guys. We're shooting Insurance Buddies podcast. If you don't mind any questions that you have either about Caldwell Insurance or insurance at all, please go ahead and post in the comments now So we can go ahead and address this while we're doing Insurance Buddies.
Yeah, while we're doing that, let's just talk a little bit about insurance. What do you, until somebody asks a question, chimes in, but what do you see as a common mistake that many homeowners make when buying insurance?
So let's be real. I'm not the kind of guy that's naive and think that people don't shop for price, because let's be real. I'd say probably 98% of the people that looks for insurance is shopping for price. However, where they do mess up, I feel, is they shop so much for price, they cut corners, and that is where the mistake comes in. If you're looking to save, whether it's just $10 a month to cut out, let's say, sewer and drain backup, sometimes that might cost $100 a year. You're talking scheduled jewelry. God forbid, what if you your sewage comes backed up to your lines and gets into your house? If you don't have that sewer and drain endorsement on your policy, it's not covered. And you're talking about might save you $6-8 a month, and you literally just hurt yourself so bad because you don't have that endorsement. And that
Jewelry's expensive.
Jewelry's super expensive.
And it has very minimal coverage built into a traditional homeowner.
Now, not even all policies have any jewelry coverage built into it automatically. But, like for instance, Erie does have some, but if you want that endorsement to cover more, then what is it, like $3,000 or $5,000 on some of the endorsements? If you need more coverage than that, you need to say, hey, listen, I need that schedule. Well, we'd like to review that policy with you and offer that more coverage. So instead of cutting that corner, saving $8 to $10 a month, make sure your belongings are covered the way they're supposed to be. That's probably the biggest common mistake that I see.
Right.
See his notes here.
What?
One of the big one is
flood.
Homeowners does not cover flood.
Yep.
Flood is its own policy, and we are getting to that season, not quite there yet, this spring, winter, where floods tend to occur. Flood is never covered on a traditional homeowner's policy.
And if you feel like that you're in any kind of chance of, any kind of opportunity arises to where, there's a flood that can happen, I highly suggest letting us quote it for you, because it is super important to have.
It is.
Scott, what,
Jeremy,
what is a standard home insurance policy that's not covered? What's typically something that people think that might be covered on a standard homeowner's insurance policy that's actually not covered?
You mean like the sewer and drain backup, flooding, things of that nature, and then you could. That might be me. Sorry, somebody's calling me. But the most important, if you're not sure about your policy, talk to your agent.
Yep.
All right. If we aren't your agent, talk to your particular agent. Go over your policy. Ask them if this is covered. All right.
How often should they look at their policy with their agent?
At least at renewal. At least at once a year. At least once a year. Look at your policy. Talk to your agent. Maybe a 5-10 minute call will take all your worries away. But it might be the point where you do need a little bit more coverage.
Yep.
All righty.
Yep. Updating your home. We have a lot of people that have done renovations and they forget to tell their insurance. They've updated their kitchen. They've redone their bathrooms.
Built a new garage that's detached.
Built a new detached garage.
Right.
Added storage buildings.
A pool.
Right.
All of those things your insurance needs to know, because that could increase the value of your home, and then you could potentially be underinsured.
Also, something else, if you update your roof and your insurance company doesn't know, please let them know, because a lot of times a newer roof will get you a nice little discount on your homeowner's insurance. So that's food for thought there.
Right. The focus has been switching the past 3 or 4 years to all this wind and hail damage that everybody's been having. There's so much focus now on the roofs,
yep,
on the protection that you have up top. It used to be fire. Everybody was just thinking about what's your fire risk. Fire this, fire that.
Hail damage,
that is important, but
hail damage does more destruction.
Yes.
Across the board than probably anything else, because it doesn't just touch one house; it touches several.
Exactly.
So make sure that you have the adequate coverages that you need for that, because like you can have a restoration to where, you know, instead of just replacing one side of the roof, it could replace both sides. Just talk to your agent about that. Talk to us about that. Even if we're not your agent,
Yep.
and you want us to review that with you, I'm not even saying that you have to bring it to us, but we'd be more than happy to review it with you. That way you know that you're covered the way that you need to be, because we want to make sure that you're covered. Because let's be honest with you, insurance, it's not sexy, but but what we want to do, what we do want to do is make sure that we cover your most valuable assets, or your most valuable assets are covered the way they need to be,
Right.
and we'd be more happy to take a look at that with
Right,
you.
right. And another thing too is the liability level. How much liability coverage do you have?
I hate state minimum. State minimum coverage here in West Virginia is $25,000 per person, $50,000 per accident, and $25,000 on the property damage.
You're on auto, I think.
Yeah, he
You're
moved
still
over to
on
the
home.
auto.
Oh.
That's okay.
So-
No. Same
Standard
thing.
is between 100 and 300,000 on a home, but based on your assets, what you do as a career, all of those things, that really needs to be relayed. Also, one thing before we move on, homeowners insurance does not cover just general maintenance.
Right.
It is your job to make sure that your roof is replaced. It is your job to make sure that if you have a deck, that it has railings, that you have handrails on your stairs. All of those are things that insurance companies, especially now, are definitely looking at. Your gutters, all missing siding. If your house, your upkeep on your house, that is stuff that if they are sending out independent inspectors to re-inspect these homes, those are things. If there is debris in the yard, that is a liability issue. That is, all of those affect your coverage
Yeah.
and whether or not they will maintain your coverage. Those are things that people don't think about.
Right.
They think once they get insurance, hey, I had that handrail, this fell off. No, a lot of these companies now are going back out and re-inspecting homes that have been on the books for years to make sure that you're still maintaining that same level of upkeep as you used to.
Yep.
So, and then things that affect the price of insurance, your location, how far away you are
From the closest fire department.
to the fire hydrant. Those are
Fire
called
hydrant.
protection classes, because obviously if you live 10 miles up a holler, not close to any fire departments, or if you live in South Hills where our old office was directly across the street, they're going to be able to respond and potentially put that fire out a lot faster.
Yep.
That affects your rates, your credit.
Right.
People do not realize that credit has a heavy factor in your rating of all insurance, home and auto.
Yep. They do a soft credit review.
Yeah, so it doesn't show up
It
on
doesn't
your
show up
credit.
on your
It
credit.
doesn't show up
No,
on
It
your
won't,
credit
affect
report.
your credit.
But you got to think, insurance is a financial transaction, all right? And when these companies want to know how well of a steward you are with your finances, because you might think it's just a $1,200 auto policy or whatever, but still you're going in and you're doing it's a financial contract with this company.
Yep.
So they want to do a soft hit on your credit to see how well you've been paying your bills, how many credit cards you have, all that. It's just a soft hit, but they still want to know what kind of financial background you have.
Right.
All right. Some people don't know that, and they're surprised. They think that the only reason that they're paying a lot is that maybe an accident or two, or they're upset because they're paying a lot because they don't have any accidents at all.
But if they file bankruptcy in the past year and things
Yep.
like that, that can definitely
can
most
hurt.
definitely affect
that
your
can hurt
your
because
price.
you think insurance, it's financial. It's financial.
Yep.
So
Well, statistically, a lot of these companies have went through,
Mm-hmm.
and the people that pay their bills, obviously more, are long-term better clients. They're not going to hop from insurance carrier to insurance carrier because you have
Absolutely.
an insurance score that is very similar to a credit score,
Absolutely.
and it tracks things like length with a carrier and stuff like that, and reliability.
Absolutely.
yep.
I never knew that until I got into insurance.
No?
I had no clue that any of that was even a thing.
So, by the way, thank you, Dawn. Let's switch gears here a little bit.
Oh, we're switching gears.
Let's talk about auto insurance.
Ooh,
Again,
literally. Ooh, what a segue.
we're talking about
what a segue though. I'm sorry.
So, you know, again, things that can affect your car insurance rate, like Jessica said, you know, your credit score, that plays a factor. Your driving record, that's a no-brainer because, you know, if y'all going out there and getting 3 accidents a year, you ain't gonna have the best rate.
Exactly. And Jessica mentioned a little bit about the homeowners. Insurance is not a maintenance plan, okay? If there are things with your home, you know, your gutter, a little bit of damage and everything. If you've had a dent in the side of your car, and let's say, for instance, it's $500 or $1,000, you know, that's the max that it will take to repair it. Now, you could file a claim. You could have the insurance pay for that. But at the end of the day, was it better for you to have the insurance pay for it or pay out of pocket? Because you never know when a catastrophic accident is going to happen. You never know when a $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 accident is going to take place. So what can happen is, let's say in 2023, I filed a claim. It was a $500 claim. Well, then in 2024, I filed another $700 claim. Because I really didn't want to pay out of pocket for that. Well, then last July, actually was in a bad accident. It's a $25,000 claim, and the insurance paid all 3 of those out. Your probably likelihood are going to get dropped by that insurance company, okay, because of the claim frequency.
Now, and the thing is, we're not, not just us, but all insurance advisors, they're not going to tell you not to file the claim, but what we are going to advise you to do is make sure you do your due diligence. Mm-hmm. Make sure you look at it and say, hey, I have a $500 deductible. There's $800 worth of damage. That means I'm going to get a $300 check from the insurance company to fix my car. And you may not be able to afford that $300 right there. And we've seen it many times, haven't we, honey?
We have.
And we're like, listen, if you can't afford the other $300, go ahead and file it. We understand. We've been there. We've done that. But if you can't afford the other $300, we're going to kind of steer you in a direction what we feel might be the best thing for you to do. But we want you to make your decision at the end of the day. Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the claim frequency, but also a lot of these repair shops, people don't realize you can go get a free estimate prior to filing the claim. That way you can make your best judgment of, is it worth it? Mm-hmm. So, but I can't think of a single repair shop that charges for the estimates prior to the repair.
I don't either.
No.
You see all these commercials on TV. Bundle this, bundle that, bundle this. Babe, Jess. Sorry, I'm so used to
babe. So he was from. I didn't know. I had to be specific. I'm glad he said Jess.
What is probably the biggest advantage of bundling your home and auto insurance with the same company?
The discount, and then depending on the carrier. So one is definitely the discounts, but 2 is the loyalty to that company and from that company.
And you get us. You get us. When you come to us, you got the bundle. You got the discounts. You got the company. And you get us.
You get a bundle.
You get a bundle. We're a bundle of joy here.
Woo!
10 minutes before we started this, he did not.
He was not a bundle of joy.
He did not think we were a bundle of joy.
But he is now.
He was pitching in temper
They deflated me. And they deflated me.
You'll hear more about that later.
Yeah, you'll hear about that probably.
10 after 1, he will be going live again.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
about a whole another subject.
He loves to go live.
Not really.
It's his favorite thing.
Not really.
Now he likes to drag us into it.
So we are going to make a big announcement here in about 30 minutes with something else that Caldwell Insurance and another company are going to team up and doing. But we'll talk about that here in about 30 minutes. But so Scott,
yes,
do you feel that sometimes people say, I got the car paid off. I like to take out down the liability. Well, do you feel like that's always the wise choice, or do you feel like it's not?
How do they do it again?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. Well, it depends. It depends. There's a lot of factors that go into that. The age of the vehicle. What do you feel that the Blue Book value of that vehicle is? And then you got to crunch the numbers. I mean, if you were in an accident will you financially be able to make those repairs yourself
That's always the question I
Or
go back to.
replace that vehicle.
or replace that vehicle?
That's the question I always go back to. I'm like, listen, so here's my thing. Let's say that you total that 2008, whatever it is. I know that you got that paid off, but if you were to total it and it was your fault, would you be able to financially purchase another vehicle? If their answer is no, I'm like, listen, I'm not going to tell you what to do. But my advice is spend that extra $25 or $30 a month, put that leave that full coverage on there. That way, you know that it's that way you know that you can financially be where you need to be.
Right, and go back to what you're talking about, the levels, the liability levels.
You talking about when I was talking ahead of time?
Yeah,
earlier. You know, again, you know, the state minimum limits is $25,000 per person, $50,000 per accident, and $25,000 on the property damage. Again, make it as easy as possible to explain this. If you're in an accident, it's your fault, and you are, you know, you're the only one in the car injured. Someone, it covers up to $25,000 if you hit the other party. It covers up to $25,000 per person. If there's more than one person in the vehicle, it covers up to $50,000 on the bodily injury, and then $25,000 on the property damage, which means it covers up to $25,000 of property damage on the other person's vehicle.
So I want you to.
Or if you hit a telephone pole. People don't understand that is also property damage. If you hit an AEP power pole and take out a bunch of people's power, AEP is going to be sending the insurance a bill to replace that pole.
Right. And the question is $25,000 enough?
No, I hate it. You know, we're trying to catch back up with some, you know, there's some policies that was wrote before, you know, we came into here. And we're trying to review some policies, and we try to
Some of those policies have been on the books for 15, 20 years
and
prior
state
to,
minimum was lower even back then. So, you know, again, you know, I love 100, 300, 100 is probably the sweet spot. But at the minimum, I'll go is 50, 100, 50, 100, 100 is probably typically the lowest I will go. But
vehicles are expensive these days. You go out and buy a new Tahoe, you're looking at $85,000, $90,000.
Yeah.
Where 2018, you could probably get one for $55,000, $60,000.
Yep.
I mean, the price of everything has escalated so much that.
Yep.
Scott keeps interrupting us.
What?
He thought he was in here with his only friends. Apparently, that's not the case.
What? Customers. I'll get right back with you, customer.
Okay. So, Scott.
What?
Jess.
Okay, go ahead.
You're in an accident. What is the first thing that you do?
Call Jeremy.
No. No.
Seemed like a good answer to me.
Either one of you.
So the first thing you need to do, make sure that everybody's okay.
Yeah.
Make sure everybody's all right. Then call 911. All righty. And
then call us.
Don't call Jeremy. But then you need to exchange information. If everybody's okay, you know, and you've called 911, don't really wait on the cops to get there. You know, it's always good to exchange information, get their name, the other person's number, take
pictures of their ID cards and their driver's license, and be receptive, and also give back. Like, show them yours as well, because if one person says it's your fault and the other person thinks it's the other person's fault, let the insurance companies battle that out. They'll take the statements from each driver. The cops will as well, and they'll let them battle it out. But be as cordial as you can. Sometimes as like a very heat of the moment kind of thing. You don't even want to talk to the other person, but exchange information if you can. Take a picture of the other person's insurance card and their driver's license. Take pictures of the accident, video it if you can, because sometimes, especially if it's the other person's fault and they'll say something that throws them off, you know, a video is never a bad thing to have.
By video, I think he means not video the person,
no.
per se. Video the vehicles and the actual damage to the vehicle.
Sure.
That way people can't say, oh, well, I was rear-ended, but look what you did to the front of my car.
Right.
So you will have instances where stuff like that comes about, but also with the pictures of the ID cards, if you're in a not at fault accident and you have to file with your insurance, you still have to pay your deductible unless the other company takes responsibility, and then they do a process called subrogation where then you get your money back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is where people get a little upset. So if you don't know what company that the other person is insured with, what carrier, to be able to file that claim under their insurance, even though you'll have to sometimes wait a little bit for them to speak to their insured, to make sure that that's where the liability falls, you will have to pay your deductible.
Absolutely.
I know some people don't know that, and they get a little upset of, this wasn't my fault, I shouldn't have to pay anything.
Right.
We agree, but that is not how the laws of insurance is.
Right. So if you're in an accident, worry about your. I mean, it sounds bad, but worry about yourself, because don't rely. Because many people rely on the police. Said, when we ask them, said, do you have the other person's information? Do you know what insurance company they're with? Oh no, the cops took all that.
Sometimes you have to wait a week or two to get that information.
Right, and then you're upset because, the claim hasn't been filed correctly, or you're waiting on information. Whereas while you're waiting there, the couple of minutes for the police to show up, you could have been exchanging information back and forth.
Absolutely.
Okay?
We also provide, group health. We also provide health insurance for individuals. We provide commercial insurance. We provide all this, but there's one last subject, because we don't want to drag this on and on today. There's one last type of insurance I want to talk about today, and that's, to me, this is the most important insurance that not just us, but anybody can ever provide.
Tow truck?
Yes. How did you not?
Mater.
Crazy.
What?
Life insurance.
Dun, dun, dun.
You can have auto insurance and home insurance and commercial insurance your whole entire life, and you never use it. And that's fine, because that's your safety net. But what life insurance does is it's inevitable. Everybody is going to pass away. And you want to know, when that time comes, that person is covered the way they need to be covered. So the biggest question, or the biggest response I get when I ask people, do you have life insurance? The biggest response, and I'm going to ask you both of you if you all agree with this. I have life insurance through work.
Yes, I agree.
Yep.
And
We did the same thing prior to us having insurance knowledge.
And when I lost my
Jeremy
job,
had all of his life insurance, and I had my life insurance through his work.
and when I lost my job in the mines, we lost
Price went up because we were older.
and fatter for
we
me.
were definitely fatter. The one thing they don't tell you about opening a business is you
Stressy.
and you pretty much eat all of your meals through a drive-thru.
Yep, absolutely.
Not healthy.
Nope. So,
It's probably where all that $242 of that first
That's
commission check went straight to McDonald's.
and a lot of people, that people don't understand is when they have life insurance through work, is if they quit, they get fired, they retire, that life insurance typically doesn't travel with them.
Nope.
So therefore they have to buy another policy.
Yep.
And they are 60 years old at that point, or, they're older like I was, and so on, and it gets more expensive.
Right.
So it's always wise to have a life insurance policy outside of work.
It is.
Also, a lot of times, the life insurance will fluctuate with work too. The longer you're there, your death benefit goes down sometimes, because you're getting older, so they don't want that price to change. So your death benefit lowers sometimes, and I've seen that happen plenty of times. So either one of you.
Yeah.
So one thing people don't like to talk about is getting it for their kids. Nobody likes to talk about that, but it gives them, when kids are little, before any illnesses, anything like that, they're pretty much approved, and it is so affordable. So both of our girls have
Whole life policies.
Whole life policies. And I did to where they would be paid off in 20 years. That way our girls, no matter what the future holds, they never have to worry, that they at least have what we have already purchased for them.
Right. And there's all kinds of different structures. You could pay it off in 20 years, 30 years. You can pay it all of your life. There's some
Pay to 65. Pay to 100.
Yeah, there's such affordable policies out there,
Yep.
programs. All you have to do is take advantage of it. Don't let when your loved one passes away, don't let your life insurance be a GoFundMe.
Yep.
That's the thing is nobody likes to talk about it, but yes, don't let it be a GoFundMe. That's
Right.
It gets hard
But-
because it's
getting it at those big life events.
Right.
Birth of children, marriages,
purchase of
bu-
homes.
buying a house. I was getting at that. You know, something
Yeah.
people never want to think about. Buying a term policy when they buy their house to cover the amount of that
Yep.
house.
You buy a $200,000 home and you finance it for 30 years. Minimum, buy a $200,000 30-year term policy. That way, if God forbid you were to pass away, your spouse can still, and the kids can still live in a house. Pay that house off. Take that burden off your spouse.
Right. The last thing anybody wants to worry about is after losing a loved one is also not being able to stay in their home because they can't afford it.
Yep. And, you know, this sounds kind of corny and it wouldn't be, you know, the most glamorous thing, but Christmas is coming up. I mean, how awesome would it be?
Thanks, Daddy. You bought me a life insurance policy.
Woo! They might act like
But
that
if you
now.
have new babies,
They'll act like that now, but in 70 years, they'll go, man, I'm thankful that I got that life insurance policy.
Yeah.
and whole life grows, you know, cash value. But
Mhm.
at the same time, I mean, if you have a new baby at Christmas, how many things can you really buy?
Exactly.
Yep.
Why not buy them a life insurance policy that's going to benefit them their entire life? And then that is even something that their future spouse and future kids, I'm saying 70, 80 years from now, something they won't have to worry about.
Yep, absolutely. So, a couple last topics here. You know, there's a whole bunch of different types of life insurance. There's universal, there's you know, term, whole life, but two easy ones that we can go over super quick is term and whole life. You know, a lot of times people will ask, you know, what do you suggest? I'm like, well, it depends on your situation. Do you have debt? And they're like, well, yeah, I have a house. Okay, well, let's get all your debt paid off with the term policy, with the amount of time left on your mortgage. And then no matter what, you have to at least buy a small whole life policy to cover that burial expense because it's inevitable. Like I said just a couple minutes ago, everybody passes away. Make sure that you're not leaving that burden on your spouse, that unexpected death, because that is when they need to have time to grieve. They need to have time with their family. They shouldn't have to worry about how they're financially going to be able to afford this. They should be able to have time to grieve with their family and know that they don't have to worry about that burden.
Yep.
Term, it'll terminate after 10, 20, 30, or 40 years, whatever, you know, one you choose. But again, you know, it's that safety net if something were to happen in that time frame that, you know, the bills are paid off.
Yep.
Anything to add to term and whole life?
Nope. Sounds good.
No? And lastly, when people say, you know, how much life insurance coverage should a family really need? Again, it's different for every single family. Scott, how would you, if I came in and said, Scott, I need some life insurance, what would your first question be with me?
Well, I would first need to, you know, I like to, is a different thing, but I like to ask what their budget is. You know, what are you wanting to spend? Because we have a wide variety of products, policies, amounts. I mean, that we have some policies that could be as low as $8, $9 a month if the customer qualifies. But I don't want to add an extra financial burden to that customer. So I like to ask them, what could you fit into your budget? Now, saying that, everybody usually goes to Starbucks once or twice or 4 or 5 or 20 times a month. So if you could afford that, you can most definitely afford a life insurance policy.
If you could honestly afford $50 a month, it can make a world of a difference to your family with a life insurance policy.
Right.
But again, it doesn't have to be that much. Just that's just one of the factors you can use there. But we'll give you multiple choices that which one fits your budget, which one's best for your family, and so on.
Yep.
So that was doom and gloom. So back to the Starbucks. So not only did we get Starbucks this morning, And then my kid FaceTimed me from class with your kid,
And
and they DoorDashed Duncan to the school.
No way.
They come to ask me if they can DoorDash Duncan.
Shameful.
So
What
while
did you
you're
do?
being judgy about Starbucks, just know
That's bad.
not only did they get
That's
Starbucks,
bad.
they also got Duncan.
So,
Um,
and I know this has all been exciting. This is all exciting stuff,
Woo!
this insurance stuff. But just remember, here at Caldwell Insurance, if it's insurance, we provide it. Okay? Just give us a holler, give us a call.
Yep. Again, guys, we appreciate your support from the very beginning. Caldwell Insurance has grown mainly because of you all. You all have supported our business from the beginning. We're going to continue all supporting you all, the community, the way that we can. And we can't thank you all enough for everything that you've done for us. And
Right.
and thank you for tuning into Insurance Buddies.
Right.
A little bit of a different way today because typically we have a guest on here talking about their business and what they do. But we just want to kind of go back to the old school roots today of coffee with Caldwell.
Yep.
They forgot to schedule somebody, so they drug me in here.
Oh, we did
No,
not.
that's not- no,
that's-
no,
no.
no.
We would not do such
No,
a thing.
you're the brains of the operation.
Yeah, we're the eye candy. So before we leave, okay, Jessica, what's your favorite dessert?
Ooh, my favorite
I know it.
dessert?
We hope you know it.
I know it.
We hope so.
Let's see if you're right.
Carrot cake.
He's correct.
Oh,
What's mine?
But you want to know what's fun?
what?
I can't have gluten, so I can't have it anyway.
Woo! What's
Woohoo!
Jeremy's?
Red velvet cake.
That's pretty nice.
Yep. What's yours, Scott? I've never asked you that. What is yours?
Well, I'm not a big dessert kind of person.
I'm not either. I like cake.
Maybe my mom makes this vanilla pound cake.
I was about
but
to say your
just
angel
right-
food cake that Mama
No,
brings you on
no,
your birthday.
that's pretty good. But yeah, just one more in the oven. Oh, that's pretty good. Like that.
That sounds
So I do like pecan pie.
I do too.
I love
pecan pie during the holidays. Get into that season.
Yep.
Also pumpkin pie. I could almost
that
eat
pumpkin
pie.
cheesecake that
That
we
pumpkin
had.
cheesecake.
Sam's had that. That was
Last
bomb.
That was really good. If
That
you
was
haven't
so
got this,
good.
go to Sam's and get this pumpkin cheesecake. Delicious.
It is
You gotta
good.
do that. So
I don't like
That
cheesecake,
was
and that was
really
good.
good.
Yeah, it was really
Last
good.
week I ate gluten. It's fine. So I did eat that.
Yeah.
It was very,
Yeah.
very good.
So, but give us a holler, guys. Any questions, concerns, and like Jeremy said, we couldn't do it without you. We try to do everything we do to for our customers, because if we didn't have customers, we couldn't leave the lights on.
Yep. But guys, we
Oh, it's probably time for your next announcement because we just got a text. Someone's here for you. So
Ooh,
probably turn it off this live just to go live again. Woohoo!
guys, we do appreciate you all so much, and thank you for tuning into Insurance Buddies, and I hope you all have a great day. We love you. We appreciate
right.
you. We'll see you soon.
Thanks.